So, hi gamers, my name is Polybrow, if you couldn't tell by the name of the channel that this video is on, and I made those themes a while ago. I made that remix of Marble Herret's Technoblade theme. I made my Dream vs. the World theme, which is for some reason a reference to this TV show called Joseph, I don't know. The Tommyinnit theme, the Wilbur Soot Panda song, and the Manberg's National Anthem. I'm going to be talking about those songs in this video. I'm doing this video because if I don't make a video this weekend, I'll probably have a breakdown, and also because I wanted to share it. I tried doing a live stream of me talking about Techno, Dream, and Tommy's themes a while ago, but it was a bit scuffed. You guys got stick booked. You got stick booked, guys. You just got stick booked. No, please stop leaving. Don't leave, please. That was a joke. So I'm gonna do a bit more of an in-depth analysis of these themes in this video, sort of similar to my analysis of the S&P Earth OST that I did a couple of months ago. Now, I would play most of the songs in the actual MuseScore files, but on some of them the sound font's a bit messed up, if you can just tell by listening to this. Yeah, there's not meant to be that much tuba, but there is for some reason. Alright, we're going to start with Technoblade's theme. We're going to work in some sort of chronological order here. So this is Techno's theme. It starts off similar to the original. I know Marble, they initially had like this like slow suspended D on like the cellos or something, and it was really ominous and I really liked it. But I thought I'd go all out and I'd have this start on like a power chord in the bass and the electric guitar and stuff, and then with the drums doing some fancy stuff, got a string synth at the bottom, and I'll just play that introduction now and just talk through it. So it starts off with that. You've got this building bit which is taken from the original, and then here I sort of augmented the opening a bit, the opening rising bit, by having it go up a tritone and be played again, because I think it originally lands, it starts on the D and finishes on the G sharp. I decided to start it again on the G sharp and continue going higher, and that sort of gives this very like diminished, atonal, chaotic sort of sound, which I think with the arpeggios in the synth, which you hear a bit later, and the drums will go really well into the main proper opening of the song. So yeah, this is the sort of augmentation, and then drums. And then it just all goes into the main song. I'm trying to think what inspired me for this. There was an inspiration for this. I cannot remember. But there's a lot of songs that like do that, where they start off with this big opening and they have all this chaos going on. It might have been from the final boss theme from that Metopia, I think it was, the RPG with the Mi's in it. This bass line, the bam, 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 that is taken from the main melody. I sort of messed around with Marble's original melody, and I got this bass line. You have the offbeat hi-hat. If you're trying to build like some sort of tension or some sort of energy or whatever, I would definitely recommend putting like some percussion on the offbeat, and that helps build up to something. And then it's sort of just all build up. You have suspended notes. You have all this fast semi-quaver stuff in the guitars. I'll just play it as I'm going. Oh, sorry. I'll just play it as I'm going along. Here we go. And then we have 8-bit stuff. Drums going crazy. I love this bit of the drums. I like that. Like the syncopated drums, and like anything you can do that's like offbeat or syncopated with the drums is so great. And then I always like having arpeggios and songs. So a lot of people have said this is Technoblade's Megalovania, and I can see that. I'm not gonna lie, I did take quite a lot from Megalovania. This rhythm here, the bum 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 bum, that's very like similar to Megalovania's bass line. I might have just subconsciously thought, yeah, you know what? It's already sounding like Megalovania with the guitar. May as well, you know, just steal the bass line. A bit later on, it does actually steal. Yeah, this here thing. I think a bit later on as well. I steal a bit from. It's like the that bit. There's a chord progression there that I sort of steal and repurpose for this. This string synth you can hear, that I think that's also from the original. It was more prominent, but I've had it sort of in the background for this as a counter melody. You always need like a smooth counter melody when you have all this stuff going on. If you're writing like a very action-packed song, I would recommend having like something to like counteract it as like a counterbalance, because if you have too much energy, it can be really like tiresome. So I have something to sort of have something smooth in the background. I have like a smooth section. I like having like chill sections in the middle of chaotic songs. Like you'll hear that a lot in some of the songs I'm going to play for you today. I like having that. So the trumpet bit, people have drawn a lot of parallels to King K. Rool, Gangplank Galleon, and yeah, I basically did rip it straight from Gangplank Galleon. The trumpet melody here, the bum 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 bum, that's sort of already in the Marble Ferret song. It was in the piano originally. If you go back and listen to that piano bit, it basically is that. But I put it in the trumpets because I thought it sounded like more powerful. And I think I got the inspiration to use trumpets because of that one mashup between Gangplank Galleon and Megalovania, and I thought that worked really well. They complemented each other really, really well. And then, I'm not going to lie, I basically straight up took a melody from Gangplank Galleon midway through. That's the ending of Gangplank Galleon. It's note for note. Basically note for note. I thought I'd put it in there as a little cheeky Easter egg, because like it basically sounds like Gangplank Galleon. I may as well put it in. There's this bit here where the drums just sort of go crazy, and then it just sort of drops off the face. Oh, Big Mac Obama. And then this bit of the song I want to talk about, this slow bit. I always phrase it as having a meditative section, like a chill section in every song. And this section of the song is very unique because I've snuck this to some variation, this melody, into this theme, of course, my dream theme and my Tommyinnit theme, as sort of like a motif. It's that sort of descending from I think it's like the dominant, and then this like, it's like this sort of a stepwise thingy. Dreams is more in the background. You'd really need to tune your ear to it to listen out for it. Semi-quavers indicate fast stuff. This is basically just fairly similar to the intro up until the main melody comes back in here, where I changed it a bit to include that sort of direct melodic reference to Blitz near the end of the original. The that one. My beautiful singing, I know I'm beautiful. Where this sort of violin counter melody comes back in, I decided to smooth it out a bit and have like sort of like, what would you call it? Double time, like a double time rock sort of section where everything sort of just slows down. Picture like if this had been played by a band, picture them slowly headbanging, just like they were the guitars, like playing these really powerful long chords. And I love it. And I still have the arpeggios because I want to keep some of that tension. It slowly sort of bleeds back into the original, ready for a repeat back to the trumpet bit. I just love it. I used to make like character battle themes and like or just general themes before. This was sort of the theme that helped me take off in a sense. When this came out, I only had 400 subs, and the recording of this video, which is the 30th of September, which is a good few months later, I'm sitting on nearly 1,200. So thank you everyone that sort of found me out from this. Thank you everyone that's looked at my videos since. Even looked at my non-music related videos. It's really cool. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. But yeah, that's Technoblade's theme. I love it. The original sounds great. This sounds great. All the remixes sound great as well, honestly. Check out Chaos and Cabbage's remix of it. Really good. Anyway, next theme, Dream versus the World. Now this one, I've talked about this quite a lot in the original stream. It's very much structured like a manhunt video is. I tried structuring it how a manhunt would play out. Like the introduction is very sudden. There's no sort of gradual build up to the drums. It's sort of the drums just come in all at once. The tension's there. You've got all this syncopated sort of polyphonic texture in the percussion. Basically, yeah, it just all comes in at once, and that's basically how most manhunt videos start. And that's what I sort of went off of. So you have this sort of tense first part of every manhunt, where, you know, Dream's running, he's trying to gather resources. In some areas it's quite close. It sort of builds towards the end, where he either makes an amazing getaway, or he somehow kills them all. And this is all like a big build-up, sort of the main melody coming in. And then that there, let me just pause it. This here violin bit here, I really like that as well, because it's like, I don't know, I just like it. I like the way I like how it like twiddles and like sort of teeters around like that, the dominant like F sharp, and then it does similar thing here in the flutes. And then the trumpets come about here, I think. Yeah, here we go. And then he sort of developed that sort of melody into the next melody. Look how crazy the woodwind's going here. I love it. And the drums are going crazy. You have that big slam. I love that. Oh god. Oh man, I love percussion so much. And then we have this build up. Trumpets go crazy. And then we have this meditative section. So basically, to explain all this, that section is the first section of every Manhunt video, where Dream's, you know, it's very sort of close, and then he finally gets away, and that sudden like drop off is where he gets away, and he's like, oh, thank God, I can gather wood, I can get some tools. They're all back at spawn 1,000 blocks away or whatever. And that's why I have all this chaotic like flute stuff and like woodwind and trumpets and percussion. And then this sort of meditative section in the song is a bit ambiguous because it's meant to represent like the early on sort of break Dream gets. You know, he doesn't have much gear yet. If they were to jump him right now, he'd be in a sticky situation. So it's very ambiguous. At the beginning, you have like you only really have the piano grounding it with these quavers here, and even then that fades off into a melody, and then you sort of lose a sense of time. You have three groups here in these strings actually. You have the violin, the first violin working in a group of 6 semiquavers, that one or whatever. And then you have the second violin working in a group of 4, that one. And then you have the viola working in a group of 5. So you have sort of this like different groupings, so it all sounds cool. But yeah, and then the main melody comes back somewhat in the piano, and that then is picked up by the horns later on. Let's have a listen. This is like later on where he's like, yeah, I'm getting my gear, I have plans, I'm planning for when they're about to assault. This is him, I don't know, making the speed portal or whatever. Let's drop back into the percussion. Okay, so this bit, it's basically the intro, but I've added some like another drum set. I've added like a fancier drum, I guess an electric drum, and I've got that like fast hi-hat, like I've got that going. I've got the bass guitar and the guitar, and I've added some voice, I think. For some reason that's on electric guitar, but it's actually vocals. This is where like I would say he's back on the move and he's trying to get away from them again, and I've added more to it because it's meant to be more intense. It's meant to be like there's more going on now because, you know, later on he has more gear, they have more gear, and then the trumpets come up with a melody. Again, I love this melody so much for some reason. I don't know, it just seems so powerful. And then this is meant to be a more like impactful, more structured, more grounded, meditative section. Because like it's later on in the game now, he probably has some game plan. Picture like they're all mocking him in the voice chat, saying, "Oh, we're gonna get you, Dream. Oh, come here, Dream. Oh, Dream," or whatever they say. He's preparing. Picture he's got his end crystal. He's hiding around the corner. He's getting ready for them to pounce. He's like, I know what to do. He's like, I know, I'm big brain. I'm 300 IQ compilation. I am. I was using, what was I using for this? I think it was GXSCC or whatever it's called. It's some variation of those letters. I was originally using that to make a lot of my 8-bit sounds, and I recently just got a hold of a proper 8-bit sound font, so I've used that in some more of my most recent songs, but let's keep on playing. And then these strings come in here. You have a solo violin with the main melody there, and I love that. It feels more passionate. It feels like someone's actually there playing the violin and like putting like, this is meant to be like a very, I don't know what emotion that feels. I don't know. What emotion did you feel listening to that part of the song? Leave it in the comments. This is where the original Technoblade theme comes in. If you look closely, you can see that, and hopefully this is the right sound font. Yeah, you can hear it there. That's sort of a callback to the Technoblade theme. Like I said, these are all linked. And then you have of course the percussion sort of slowly coming back in. I love how strings complement 8-bit sounds so well. I don't know why, it just works so well. And then we get to near the end of the song, which is that same build-up from before, which links us back. And then you know that goes. It repeats back, and then it goes for another round essentially. This is that same build-up, but it's the end of the song, so it drops off. And then I thought, well, I needed to end it. I didn't want it to loop on forever. That's meant to represent, I don't know, most manhunts have a sudden ending. Maybe Dream suddenly losing, or him suddenly getting some win. There's very rarely a manhunt situation where like it's very clear he's won, and it's like, oh yeah, he's killed them with plenty of time, he can just casually take on the Ender Dragon, not need to worry at all. But yeah, that's basically it for Dream's theme. I structured it like a manhunt video, so I would say next time you listen to it and like try and compare it to how you would feel a manhunt video is, or just listen to it however you want. You know, music's meant to be interpreted however. My interpretation of this was Dream in a manhunt, you know, Dream versus the world. It's just like basically him versus however many people he's fought, and it's just basically, yeah, this is your average manhunt. But a lot of people have sort of interpreted this as a Dream boss battle theme, which is fine. You know, it wasn't my original intent, but again, like I said, music is meant to be interpreted. Moving on from those two themes, we have Tommyinnit's. There's 3 versions of Tommyinnit's theme that I sort of went through. Just trying to figure out what worked out and stuff. The first version is very different from the last 2 because of one slight change in the instrumentation. In this one, I had a electric guitar and a bass guitar and this like what's meant to be like an electric drum set, and it's meant to take like a bit of a rocky, metally, electronic-y, I don't know, techno-y theme. It didn't sound very Tommy at all. Like, you think about Tommy's character in most of his videos and streams and stuff, he didn't really suit that. In all due respect, it sounded too cool. It sounded too cool for Tommyinnit. I'm sorry, Tommy, it just did. I thought it would complement the orchestra well, it just didn't for some reason. It just sounded too different. So I amended that in the second version, which I think there's not much different between the second and third version, other than I think I extended some phrases. So yeah, this is all the same. Obvious thing is I added the piano in, and I think, was there any changes? Yeah, the woodwind came in with a lot of the melody here, and the flutes did some fancy arpeggio stuff. And people were drawing a lot of parallels between this song and like Lancer's theme, Papyrus's theme, and I'm like, yeah, that was my main inspiration. If you can tell, I like the music of Deltarune and Undertale, and just Toby Fox in general. He's a very good musician. And that sort of continues. Now, here in this next section of the song, this is where I quote that one Technoblade motif. This section here was a lot shorter, and it goes into this bit here a lot sooner. In the third version, I extended it a bit because it was too short in my opinion. I extended it out more because it needed more time, I feel. And then it sort of just continues as normal. And then it continues, you have this build-up. I really love that bit in the song. The bit where it turns from being all smooth into being like the da-da, da-da, like the quavers. I like that. I like that change. That was also taken from somewhere. I'm trying to think where that was taken from. I cannot, for the life of me, remember where I got that idea from, but I like it. And I really like as well the timpani and the bass drum playing not with the rest of the orchestra. I really like that. It's like we are different. I'm trying to think where I stole this from. I think I got this inspiration for this section here with the trumpets and like the sort of jazzier melody, especially with this sforzando piano and some of the notes used in that. I think I got the inspiration for this from if anyone's listened to Shady Cicada. He made a video about how to make a chaotic boss theme, and I think something like the villain motif from that, I sort of took very loose inspiration from that for this sort of vibe, but I refit it to sort of fit Tommy's vibe. I really went ham with all the forte pianos and stuff in this. I recently discovered how to like do all these sforzando pianos and crescendos up, so I put a lot of them in this song because I really liked the sort of effect it had. And usually that was a faff to do if I were to do it in any music. I'd need to like export the parts separately and like put it into like Audacity and have a artificial fade out and fade back in, and it was a faff. But now I could do it all in this. And you have this jazzy bit which I really like. This bossa nova, I'd say. If you listen to my Cuba Florida theme in my S&P Earth OST, this sounds very similar to the intro of that. And this is meant to be like, I don't know, the business part of his theme. Like, that was all the chaotic. That was chaotic Tommy. This is business Tommy. This is him getting back his virtual discs from the Green Man. And then this bit's just meant to link it better. And I thought it'd sound quirky if you had like just the flutes and or the woodwinds and the xylophone playing the main melody just like by itself. That's basically Tommy's theme. But moving on to the badass Panda song, as I've called it. I think the other title is Silly Motherfucker with His Arms in the Air. I think this... No, is this broken as well? So, you start off with this plucked bass sort of thing going on. I thought that sounded cool, and I think it's just meant to be. It's just meant to set the style.
Look at him, silly
motherfucker with his arms in the air. Silly motherfucker with his arms in the air. You've got that similar like syncopated offbeat hi-hat like you had in Technoblade's theme. This sounds very similar to the beginning of Techno's theme. I've just noticed. Especially with the bass line, it sounds very similar. Now, I think this piano, or what says piano, is actually a clavinet. You can hear it slightly in the background. Oh, Big Mac Obama. You can hear it slightly in the background. You can hear it on the second beat. It's like very short stabs. You've got the E flat and the E natural in the same chord, and I really like that. It's very jazzy. A lot of jazz chords are like that anyway. Oh, so groovy. You can't hear it very clearly in this, but yeah, you can hear the saxophones come in. The alto and the tenor accompany the clavinet here, and the clavinet. I forgot to mention the clavinet sort of picks up with that whatchamacallit bass line. Got there eventually. This is meant to be like a muted guitar. Yeah, you can still hear it. Let's solo it. Because I want you to hear this, because I really like how this sounds. I had to really bump up the sound of this because it was really quiet. I think you can hear it in the actual song, but I really like how it sounds with this. So yeah, that's meant to be like, I don't know, accompanying the stabs in the clavinet, and also I think it's mainly for the percussive nature of the plucking, of the muted pluckiness of the guitar. The soprano sax is doing this like whiny, like counter melody, the bah, bah, or whatever it is, and then you go into this section here, which is meant to be focusing on Wilbur making his noises.
That's what I like to see.
Here we go.
That's what I like to see.
Okay, and that bit there, this bum bum bum, that's meant to be I had that in mind to match the notes Wilbur sang when he was picking things out of the creative in the inventory in his video, because he basically sang that scale, or booped that scale, I should say. And so I was like, I'll put that in, because why not? And then you have this melody line, which I like. Hopefully it's all the right sound font. It's all piccolo. I guess we're listening to piccolo. Great, let's just have a listen to this. This isn't a piccolo. What the hell's this? That's a harp. What? What? It says piccolo right there. I don't know why it's a harp, but yeah, that's like meant to be the melody in the background of all the chaoticness. And I especially like the transition here from C major to B flat, because it's got this like semitone move down from the would be an E natural to an E flat to set up for the 2-5-1 into the B flat major, which then works its way down through B flat to A flat to G. I think it's like G sus4, and then it goes into this section, which is the Mr. Bombastic section of the song, which I added for some reason, because Biggie Cheese! It's Biggie Cheese! And you have Mr. Bombastic in the background. Sorry, I love it. Just Mr. Bombastic in the background of the song. I'm surprised I didn't get copyright claimed. But yeah, and then later on in that section, you have the saxophones come in with that similar, like, sort of whining motif. I'm going to call it the whining motif because it sounds like it's like a whining noise in the soprano saxophone. They come back with this, and that sort of builds back up to the chorus, which has got all sorts going on. Now the clavinet's playing that melody. The bum ba 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 ba, whatever it is, I don't know. This is where I had that soppy talk and saying thank you for nearly 1,000 subs. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Blah blah blah. Soppy 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 crying. It gives me big like Stevie Wonder vibes for some reason. Like the clavinet. Clavinet, I think it is. Yeah, I think he did play the clavinet, Stevie Wonder actually. But yeah, I like this I like this outro. I like how it slows down as well. This was a fun thing to work on. I'm not going to lie, I made this in 24 hours because I was bored. And I was like, I need to upload something. Why not make a song about pandas and E-Boys or whatever. So yeah, that's basically the Badass Panda song. This final one I'm going to be talking about today is the L'Manberg Anthem, which I did as a collaboration with Chaos and Cabbages. I just wanted it to sound like a national anthem. If you listen to any like traditional patriotic national anthem, like probably the French national anthem, I'd say, it has a lot of parallels with this. It might have a sprinkle of patriotism like the US national anthem, but it's mainly French. French. It's France. Think of the French national anthem. I'll solo the vocals so we can listen to the harmony in that, because I really liked the harmony in this. The split vocals, like the split harmony and stuff in this, was probably subtle inspiration from sort of the vibe I got from the USSR national anthem, and I thought that like that big thick texture of just sound and people singing like sounded really like impressive and like really like, yes, God bless. It probably made people want to stand up and salute. I'm very fond of this, like all the harmony, like subtle harmony and stuff, and like suspensions and stuff. I'm really proud of it. Not much to really pick apart with this, other than it's just all very patriotic. It just sounds patriotic. There's not much I can really say. There's no hidden motifs. It's just meant to sound patriotic, and it's meant to have all these nice like swells and stuff, like especially here, which is, let me just play it in the actual recording. From the hot dog and we'll prevail in the pursuit of it has this swell. I thought, and I love that. And one thing here as well I want to point out is that I think when in the recording of this, I think Chaos on one of the vocal lines, I think he went a tad bit higher than he was meant to accidentally, but I liked it. I think it was here on the foundations of our founding fathers. He started on the B and then he jumped up to the D sharp a bit too early, but I thought that worked really well. Like that sudden jump, it's sort of like the fact that there are some mistakes that I could, some air quotes mistakes in it that I could pick out. It makes it sound like, it gives the impression that this is a national anthem being sung by like the citizens of this place, which is great. If you're going for that sort of vibe, if you were to ever write a national anthem, I would not care too much about having mistakes, because think about it this way. Of course, if it's blurring mistakes that sound horrible, don't. But if it's something like that, where it's just some slight inaccuracy in the vocals and someone singing a different pitch or whatever, go with it, because it gives off the immersion that this is being sung by a group of people that really love their country or something. I don't know. And then the ending of this song, the last 4 bars, I love. It's a bit overpowered by my jokey little rambling where we say we love women or whatever. But I really like the ending of this. Let me go to the end. Love women that we love. I love this bit, right? Okay, that jump, please. That octave jump is great. And my voice wasn't made for it, but if it was like someone who was built for like the tenor range, they would be able to probably sing that a bit better. And that sort of like big jump, that octave jump, is meant to be more impactful than I made it. But yeah, I'm very fond of it. I like that bit of the song. Good. And then I've decided at the end, because why not, I put an octave up. Bloody it's very subtle. You can sort of very slightly hear that like raised octave there, and I liked it. I went over the top with the vocals on some bits because I thought, it's meant to sound like people really loving their country. And I'm really glad that, like, in a lot of the vocals, you can hear Chaos was really going for it as well. And it's like, that's great. That's exactly the vibe I wanted for this. And thank you to him as well for putting in the alto and tenor sax, because I should have done this with, like, a marching band instead of an orchestra, because that would have sounded more like a national anthem, because you always have, like, marching bands playing national anthems. It's never orchestras. But the addition of the 2 saxophones really still made it have that sound like you were in a marching band. But yeah, I've been recording this for 15 minutes. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I've been doing a lot of talking. So hopefully you all enjoyed this little analysis of these 5 songs. It's been amazing writing all these songs. I have more songs planned. I have a few more additions to the S&P Earth soundtrack I want to do soon. I have a few more like character themes and boss themes I want to do. Another thing, I'll be going to university soon, and although a lot of things are online, I might be a bit more caught up with that than usual. So expect a bit of a gap in between uploads for the next few months, but not too much of a big gap. Look out in October for my Inktober stuff that I do, my musical Inktober. I still need to think of the prompts for that. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna go give my voice a rest. I've been chatting for 50 minutes. My throat is dead. If I talk any longer, I think my throat will actually implode, create a black hole, and maybe consume my entire neighborhood. So I'm gonna go. Bye. Yeah.